Hello, in this video I will try to show you the basic tools of 3D Slicer. As shown in the previous video, you have to load DICOM images. We will take this one. It's 1mm slices. And you click here in conventional or whatever you want. I like this one, and now you can go to Segment Editor. It's, in my opinion, the best tool to use in 3D Slicer for 3D reconstructions, obviously. Now you have to add a segment, and you see you have a color and a name, and the eyes is whether it's visible or not. We can change the color by clicking here. You go here and set color. It's not very important, and I can try to make I don't know, the left kidney, for example. Left kidney. Okay, so you remember control and scroll, it's to zoom, right click and up and down you zoom, middle click you can drag and drop the whole image, and if you hold shift and move the mouse you can move in the two other boxes. So you select the left kidney, okay, and now I will show you how to use the different tools. So none, it's nothing, okay. It allows you to maybe change the contrast. Here it's pretty good. Paint, it's a brush, okay. So I will enable 3D to show you what happens, but when you are making something, I recommend you to enable this, because everything will be a lot longer to load if you have Show 3D enabled. So you can do this. Okay. Okay, and you have one slice. When you click here, okay, and it's pretty useless, but sometimes in particular cases it can be useful to adjust something. Draw, it's the same thing, but you can click and you right click now, and it would be the same, but just on the contour. Erase, it's for erase, of course. And what I forgot to tell you is you can use a sphere brush, and it will be a little sphere. So, and to zoom in and out the view, you can use Control, and now you can use Shift to use a bigger or smaller brush, and you can see it will change here. So I click here, okay, and oops, and now we got this. So level tracing, it's, I think it's useless, but okay, you can have something like this, but I'm not sure it's a really useful tool. Okay, that's all for level tracing. Grow from seed, we will see that later, and fill between slices is a very useful tool. I will just erase this, because otherwise it will be a problem. and I go to fill between slices. I click in slice, and as you can see, it will fill between the different slices you created before. One important thing is you must make disappear all the volumes you don't want to we don't want to apply fill between slices on. I will show you it later. Okay, so now you can maybe you can do another slice, and you will see it will automatically update. And okay. If I go in, okay, update. Okay, and now if I click apply, you see, up, you have something like this. The slices are you have something like this. Threshold, it's extremely useful tool. It allows you to work only between in a particular range of ounce fill units. For example, if you want to work only in the lungs, you this and this. Okay, and now you have air and lungs, but pretty much nothing else. Okay, so if I want to use this tool, I can click apply, but it will select everything, which is it will create a segment with everything, which is in highlights. So for example, I can show you what it makes with the bones. Okay, so if I click apply, it will take a lot of time because show 3D is enabled. I have a good computer, so it don't take a lot of time, but it can on other computer. Okay, and if you click apply, it gives you this. I undo, and if you go back threshold, and you can click use for masking, and now it can help you to select only one particular thing. For example, if I want to have just this rib, I can use paint tool with fair brush, and I am working only in the threshold range. So if I do this, it will be much easier to have just what I want. And you can, okay, you see, you can do this for a lot of things. It's not bad, but you can do better things with it. For example, the left kidney, I will erase this because it's useless. Up. And obviously I forgot to unselect this because I used threshold, so I can only edit in these unfill units. Oops, I wanted to erase. Up. So you see, I click, it erases only the bones, but not the kidney. So I have to click here in editable intensity range to disable this, and now it will work. Okay. So now I can use threshold. I will just Okay, that's not bad. And I can click use for masking, and now I can do this. Okay, so as you can see, it's not perfect, but I think it's not bad. Okay, and you have little thing like this. So you have different tools to erase it. You can go with erase, and you can erase. It will take a little time. Or maybe you can use islands, and you go here in islands. You click keep selected islands, and you click here, and everything else is gone, as you can see. Okay. So now I can show you margin. It's quite simple. If I click grow, and for example 5 millimeters, and I click apply, it will grow from 5 millimeters, obviously. And it didn't work because I didn't remove this editable intensity range, so it can work only in this area. So I go back in margin, I unselect this, and I click apply, and now it will work. Okay, it's bigger. It's it can be useful sometimes, and shrink is exactly the opposite. Okay, it's the same thing, pretty much. Hollow can be interesting. It's totally useless if you want to do volumetry or things like this, but if you just want to display something and see how it's in the inside, you can use hollow. We can use outside surface, and you'd still have the same, but it removes the inner border of the everything which was in the kidney. And now we can do keep selected islands. Click here, and okay. I can show you the scissors, for example. Alors, if I click erase inside, it will erase inside, outside, or fill inside, fill outside. For example, if I do this, okay, you can see like this. Okay, so I will cancel up. So I make it back. As you can see, there are holes here, and you can use the smoothing tool to get rid of this. Alors, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools in smoothing. Median, it's every time you go to description here, okay? So I let you read this. I'm just showing you what it does. If I do median, I don't know if you see the difference. I will. You see, it's a lot smoother. Opening, it won't do anything now, or maybe it will remove this, but I'm not even sure. Closing can be interesting. Look at this. Click apply. Okay, and it fills the little holes. This one was probably bigger than 5 millimeters, that's why it's not closed. And this one too. So you can just do this if you want to close it. Go back to smoothing. Gaussian, it's a more powerful smoothing tool. Look at these little points. And it will be very smooth after Gaussian. But it can take a little bit time. But that's because I have shot 3D enabled. See, I'm not sure it's useful because it destroys all the details, but sometimes in specific conditions it can be useful. So I undo. And joint smoothing, it's we will talk about this later. Sorry. Now I can show you surface cut maybe. Surface cut can be very useful to work in a certain place, and I will show you how. You have to place fiducials. Let's say, for example, you want to select only the spleen. You click Shift and it will go automatically next to the spleen on every slice, and you just have to contour on every view. And now you can check if the spleen is in the right place. I forgot, I should create another segment. Spleen, that's not good color for spleen, I think. And for the kidney maybe we could change and okay, so now I click apply and it created a new segment, but you can see it erased the previous segment we created. So how can we avoid this? We can do undo, obviously. And when we create a new segment, you have to be careful on click, and you have to click here. In masking, you click on editable area, you can click everywhere. Or you can choose everything you want, inside all segments, outside visible segments, and overwrite all visible or none. In this particular case, we want to click on none, and we will do this again. Surface cut. So I go on my spleen. Okay, so now I click apply and it will create a new segment, and it won't erase my kidney, so it's good. So I will name it spleen mask. Okay, so it will be a mask for the spleen, and this will be the spleen. I don't need to see the kidney right now. To change this, you can click, press Control and click and go left and right with the left mouse button, and it will show more or less the segment you created. Let's go now to spleen, and you will use threshold, okay? And in the editable area, you will click inside spleen mask. So you can only work in this particular area. Now you have to choose. the right field units. Okay, so let's click apply, for example, and as you will see, okay, it's only in here. So now I have something like this. It's not particularly satisfying, but we can do several things. I can do, for example, keep selected items, and it will remove some things, but it's not good. I can use the scissors to get rid of this and this, but it can take a lot of time, not in this case, but sometimes it can. So what you should do, I think, is use the draw tool, and I will delete and create a new spline threshold, and you click use for masking, and you paint tool, sorry, and you can as you can see, it's quite fast. Okay, so now I have this, so I want it to be perfect, so what can I do? As you can see, there are little holes here, so I will use smoothing, fill holes, and of course I will erase this. Maybe 3mm will be good. So I still work in spline mask. Okay, now I can click on the island, try keep selected islands to get rid of all the little points, and this I can get rid of this maybe with my scissors. Okay, not bad. And I can maybe do a little smoothing, discussion, maybe only 3mm, apply. Wait a little bit, and you have the spline. Okay, so now we have kidney and spleen, and only by using very simple tools. I can show you logical operators. It's very useful sometimes. So I put back this. For example, I don't know. It allows you to do mathematical operations on your segments. For example, if I want to remove all the spleen in my spline mask, I select spline mask, I make subtract, I click spleen, and I apply, and as you can see, there's a hole here, and it's this. If I want to put it back, I can do, of course, but I can do, I go in spline mask, make add spleen, apply, and it will add the spleen. You can do intersect, for example, spline mask and left kidney, apply, and you have intersections of both. So you still have left kidney, but you have this segment, which was the intersection between spleen mask and the left kidney. So we saw pain, draw, erase, reveal tracing. We didn't see grow from seed, but we will talk about that later. We saw this, hollow, smoothing, scissors, islands. I think draw 2 is not very useful. We will talk later about fast matching and float filling, match volume, speed volume, and I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching.